Hello, Abraham. It's wonderful to be here. I want to thank you for choosing me.
You are hard to ignore.
My question, well, I work the Abraham program very, very hard, and it works. It really works. And one of the things that I wanted to say is, my life today is just absolutely wonderful. And the thing that's so powerful is appreciation, this emotion called appreciation. I mean, it's world-changing. It's extremely powerful when I can take an emotion, let's say, of anger or of jealousy or something along those lines, and change that to appreciation of a person or a neighborhood or even a government. It's mind-boggling, as powerful as it is. And I think I know why it works so powerfully. But I would like to ask you, what is it about the emotion of appreciation that's so powerful in our lives?
Well, of course, every word is up for grabs a little bit because different people use the same words and mean different things. And many people use a different word to mean similar things. But appreciation is the closest vibration, as we poll all of you, to the vibration of your source of anything. Some say, well, what about love? We thought love would be the closest vibration to that which is source. And we say love and appreciation are so similar in vibrational nature. But often when a person is using the word love, it's from a I wish I had some standpoint, or why is there not any around me, rather than from a place of I am filled with it. When you are speaking appreciation or of appreciation, you're usually vibrating right there. So the reason it's so powerful is one who's connected to the stream is more powerful than millions who are not. In other words, when you tune in to that energy stream and you focus on something from your full connection, you are a powerful being, you see. And it's a nice thing when you realize when you have been practicing the art of appreciation enough that it's reverberating through you on lots of different topics, and then something happens that gets your attention and causes you to beat an old familiar drum, there is in you an immediate recognition that you have diverged to a place that is not now normal. This is a wonderful thing. When appreciation is the vibration that is most normal, then it's very easy for you to just keep turning yourself back to that. It's like steering your vehicle, and it's very easy to feel those little bumps on the lines and on the edge of the road help too.
Well, I couldn't believe how powerful it was. The change was so drastic and so dramatic and so quick. I got the book and did Rampages of Appreciation in a notebook, and I thought, now I'm going to go buy a notebook, and I'm going to go out and do this. And I said, well, I'm willing to do anything to change. I'm willing to do anything for a better life. So I went out and got the notebook, and I did exactly what Abraham said to do, what you told me to do, and I started writing in this notebook, and I went on Rampages of Appreciation, and it was like magic. It was just magical stuff. Depression left. Anger left.
Are you telling us that you cannot hold more than one vibration at a time?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
So when you found something to appreciate and you really got the vibration going, and did you notice that once you got into the mode of it on one subject, it was easier on the next and on the next and on the next?
Yes.
And do you notice that once you vibrate there on a pretty regular basis, that diverging into old, formerly familiar thoughts feels odd to you? In other words,
can't do it.
Your guidance system is in full awareness. That's what's happened to you. Good.
And so the universe responds to that immediately for everyone, or is it just for me, or
only you?
Well, that's what I thought. I mean,
well, here's what's happening. The universe is responding to whatever you're offering vibrationally. But what you offer vibrationally is who you really are. Now, we want to address this just a little bit. We talk about projecting your thoughts into the future. We talk about the power of your now. But think about this eternal being that you are and that you have been, and how many powerful nows you've projected into your future. So now, think about, before you even came forth into this body, your expectation about this time-space reality, your reason for coming, your intent, and think about all of that energy that preceded you and pre-paved your arrival. And now, think about finding vibrational alignment with all of that. It's no wonder it's powerful. We want to say to everyone, you get what you think about. So whether you're thinking thoughts that feel good or thoughts that feel bad, whatever you're thinking about causes you to offer a vibration, and that vibration becomes your point of attraction. But when you find vibrational alignment with who you really are, and you maintain it for a little bit of time, people look at you, they are amazed, seas part for you, doors open for you, things happen for you, people are nice to you. You get all of the lucky breaks, not all of them because are enough lucky breaks to go around, but it is evident whenever someone significantly aligns with the vibration of their source, the manifestation of their life must show it, you see. And we want to say, even to you, our appreciating friend, that there are even levels of relief even from appreciation. In other words, you can even reach for things that feel better than that. And better than that, and better than that. There is no end to the exaltation that you can feel as you align more and more and more and more consistently and purely with who you really are. Yes?
It's magical, thank you.
Magical implies that there is some trick to it. We would like to say it is law, but law implies there is something wrong with it. In other words, hard to find the perfect word. Magical will do, yes.
Hello, Abraham. I'm excited to be here. This is my first time. And I've been thinking a lot about possibilities and talents. And I hear today people talking about genetics and behavior. Not behavior, but what is possible for them. And what I want to know is how much of what we can do is really genetics, if any of it.
None.
Okay, so if I want to paint like Van Gogh, I can paint like Van Gogh. Because I have,
You can, and that energy stream is there available for you. All you have to do is tap into it. The only thing that is influencing you is those who surround you offer patterns of vibration that became familiar to you. And so sometimes you learn your vibrational pattern without even knowing you're learning a vibrational pattern. But from what you are hearing here today, it doesn't matter where you are in your vibrational pattern. You can change that just by focusing. All that genius is attention to a subject. Attention to something. Law of attraction takes care of everything else. So when you focus upon something, law of attraction will bring more of it and more of it and more of it. And that's how talents unfold, you see. People will say, well, Abraham, surely people have propensities for things. In other words, people just seem to be a natural at that or a natural at that. And we say, yes, you came forth with a variety of intentions. You want the variety for the balance. It makes you all live together happily. But if this environment can inspire within you the slightest desire, then this environment can provide amplification to that desire into what you would call mastery level. And this environment can also provide the means with which you can achieve it every single time. If you have the ability to formulate the desire, you have the capacity and the support to create it fully. No exceptions to that. So why don't more people do it? Because more people say, I want this, I've got this. I want this, I've got this. I want this, I've got this. So they hold themselves in vibrational discord to their own desire. If they would just say, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, and never mind this part of it, they would achieve vibrational alignment with it, and the universe would deliver it. And then the world, who does not understand that, would call it magical or lucky or being born under the right star. And we say, it is creation. It is deliberate creation. Deliberate creation is deliberate vibration. And deliberate vibration is caring about how you feel. And caring about how you feel is reaching for the best thought you have access to, endlessly.
I'm absolutely receiving that.
Sometimes we think, you come to these gatherings and we think that what you want is to get all of this and then walk out into the world and have the world just treat you so good that you know you've got it. And we say, well, we want the world to treat you good, but we want you not to need the world to treat you good in order to feel good. We want your idea of what's coming to be enough to make you feel good now. When your idea of what's coming is enough to make you feel good now, the world starts treating you good right now. You see, many of you have been seen through the eyes of so many, and you tend to kind of see yourself as others see you. But the tricky thing about that is others can't see you other than through the way they see themselves. So if someone who doesn't feel good about who they are is looking at you, then they're not giving you very positive feedback usually, you see. And then in time, you learn to see yourself as they saw you, which is all distorted. And then some big mouth like Abraham, sorry Esther, like Abraham, comes forth. It is actually her big mouth. Comes forth and says, you get what you think about and you can feel good no matter what. And sometimes it takes a little practicing to bring yourself into alignment with that. But when you do, it is really worth the effort. Takes far less effort to figure out how to move up this emotional scale than to learn QuickBooks on the computer.
QuickBooks is pretty easy.
We agree.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed.
Abraham, would you clarify something for me? Either Aldous Huxley or Philip Wiley or one of those guys, The Generation for Vipers or Brave New World, one of those books, the way they made the society work, as people were born, then they would, certain groups of them that they wanted to do like really menial work, they would just cut the amount of oxygen that would go to the brains of these little beings in these test tubes, and then so on and so forth, and more oxygen to those who were going to be the professors and things. And the ones who were going to do the really hard work, they really crimped on the oxygen in their little brains. And so kind of what I heard from Dolores there and what I heard from you, is this something like that? Do we come in already having... I think it's Emerson's line, we wouldn't be allowed to want something if we didn't have within us the ability to achieve it. At some level, are we something already desiring something coming into physical, and then we couldn't be stirred to really desiring something if we didn't have the ability to do it? So the fact that we have the desire means that we do have the ability, and it also is what we came here more or less to do, or none of that?
More none of it than all of it. But in light of what you have just said to us, before we answer your question, we want to add another piece to that.
Okay.
When we say that if this time-space reality has inspired within you a desire, that this time-space reality and all of the forces of the universe have the ability to deliver to you the desire that has been inspired. And this is the part we want to add.
Okay.
And nothing is off limits to anyone. In other words, you have not been preordained or pre-decided about who you are. You are all joy-seeking beings wanting to experience joy in a variety of ways. Don't forget that the measurement of life is about joy.
Right.
And now we want to go back to the pinching off of oxygen part in this in this story. And we want to say that that's sort of like what that resistance is. In other words, no one is going to do that to you.
It's not done from the outside.
Other than maybe in a fictional tale that is written from a place of despondent lack and disconnection from source energy. And we would not base our life experience on such a thing.
Okay.
But when you think about this resistance or allowing, it is the same sort of thing. The more in vibrational alignment with who you are, the more everything lines up. And even everything in your physical body, same thing. Thriving is thriving.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.